simultaneous broadcast. It's going to be simultaneous. You will hear me on here, and those who are on Facebook can also see me. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome. Can you hear me? Please type yes. Those of you on TikTok, do let me know if you can hear me. Adekunle Adeyemi, welcome on board. Abdul Rashid, good afternoon. Bahozon, welcome. Orlando Martins, Gbogbo Irawo, welcome on board. Pretty Yamokwe, Gloria Essie, Hassan Digale, Che Olami Ola Ohema Josephine. Who else? Barry, Otoho, welcome on board. I can't see all your names, but I will try. Please share the broadcast. You are watching Cisnewa, the platform where we speak truth to power. Those of you on YouTube, I'm going to quickly show you something. I need you to look at something. We will start off with that, and maybe I will see if I can. You won't be able to hear it, those of you on TikTok, but I will talk about this broadcast briefly, and I'll tell you what was said, because I think it's very important. So now the purpose of the broadcast is to really go over the checklist. Yesterday I spoke about the need for our local governments to begin to hold our people within each and every local government area, to begin to hold those they elect into office to account. And I talked about the fact that we have powers that we have not used. Those powers, just a quick recap, they are section 14.2a and section 14.2c. They are very important that we use those powers. Let me see if you can. Oh, you can't see me on the YouTube. 1 second, please. That's going to be a very problem. I didn't think about that. 1 second, please. I may have to go and come back on YouTube. 1 second. But yeah, we were talking about that we have powers that we need our people to begin to use. Let me try something here. I just did not think that would be a problem, but if it is, then so be it. I just was not, sometimes when you're going to do a few things, it does take a bit of it takes some time to get things going.
Recording in progress.
But so let me quickly get this up and running. Those of you on YouTube, you won't be able to see me, but I will do my level best to give you the information.
The vacuum.
1 second, please. And those of you on TikTok, welcome on board. We are talking about the checklist of things that our people need to do to be able to hold those they elect into office to account. So that's what we're trying to do. Please subscribe to Season AY on YouTube. I will come back later on, those of you on YouTube. I do apologize. You will only hear my voice, whilst those of you who are on TikTok will hear and see me. It's only going to be about an hour long, but that's fine. What we need to do is to really help ourselves. Now, quickly, for those of you who are on TikTok, the picture behind me is really very important, because the walls of the Vatican those are spectacular. Those are African artifacts that they find spectacular. And they find it so spectacular that they stole it. It was stolen. It was taken from Africa, and right now in the Vatican, in the museums in the Vatican, you will see what is on screen. Yes, those of you on YouTube, I'm afraid you won't be able to see me live right now, because I should have made sure that the screen was clear, but unfortunately, it wasn't at the time. And well, let's just say it is what it is right now. I will try and do something to see if I can address that. I may try and address that in a way. So watch out for that. Now, going back to what we're saying, that picture behind me, the people who saw the greatness that we possess in those pictures. Now, those of you on YouTube, I'm going to play the. You won't hear it on. Can you hear it? I'll see if you can try and hear it. I'll try. I'll see if it works. I may try. I'll see if you can hear it. I don't want a feedback. That's why I'm not so hot on playing it back, but I'll try. I want you to hear how they describe the African artifacts that they find that relates to our spirituality. So let's listen to what they said, and then I'll come and talk to you about it briefly. Here we go. Let's listen.
The Vatican Museum.
Okay, they're in the Vatican Museum. Now,
what you will see in this video today is very astonishing.
So, those of you on TikTok, they said what you will see today in the Vatican Museum, that is displaying African art. That is displaying African art. That museum is saying that our African art is astonishing. Are you hearing me? They're saying that the African art stolen by the Vatican, by the church from Africa, and now in the Vatican, they're saying it is astonishing. Now let's listen on.
This section of the museum contains the Catholic Church collections from Africa over centuries.
So the section of the museum in the Vatican contains artifacts from Africa over centuries. Listen on.
The artworks in this place tells a beautiful story.
They said the artwork in this place, let me see if you can hear. Can you hear me?
Of the cultures and religions of the African tribe untainted.
You can't hear it. Okay. It talks about the African art that is with beautiful structure, untainted. Anyway, let's carry on. So, the reason I'm talking about that is, guess what? Over 10,000 of our African art is in the Vatican right now, and they are using it to do what? To earn money via tourism. Via tourism. So pictures as what you see behind me are being used by the Vatican to earn money. And they admit that they are astonishing art. And the very people to whom those artworks belongs, you and I, we have been separated from the artifacts. We've been separated from it. They stole it from us. And now they are telling us it's wonderful. But yet they are telling us that our spirituality is of no use. We should abandon our spirituality. And that is why I'm here to tell many Africans. The people who are saying these words, and I'm going to use the exact words that they said. Let me listen to it and I'll say it to you.
Story of the cultures and religions of the African tribe untainted.
So, I want to listen to the words again. So, listen. I'm going to say it again. Please do
what
share.
You will see in this video today is very astonishing.
So what you see when they're showing African art, the words they use, please note, the words they use are that African art are astonishing. Astonishing, right? But yet, from the same people who are producing astonishing art, They see nothing wrong in making them turn their backs against those African the spirituality that they are so talking glowing terms about. And that's a message for us as Africans. If they find our artifacts and artworks of us and our spiritual, cultural art amazing and astonishing, then why are they insistent that we practice their religion? Why? That's a brainwashing. Nobody has a right to do that. We need to reject it. And we must demand for those artifacts to be returned. I'm going to keep talking about this on every show I go. They must return all the artifacts, such as you see on the screen behind me. It must be returned. And the fact that they find it astonishing must tell us that we must have a sense of pride about our spirituality as Africans. They have removed that. When you as an African are practicing the Christianity, the colonial Christianity, when you are practicing it, you are accepting to be brainwashed. The other day I found out that my Yoruba culture, we had 4 days a week. There was 4 days in our week. But because of the colonial Christianity, they came and discarded my ancestors' days of the week and replaced it with the Gregorian calendar. You don't have a right to do so. I will not want the Gregorian calendar to be scrapped, because that's what the people in that area know. But to go to another place and scrap their calendar to make sure to forcefully force them via military means, via torture, enslavement, to start bowing to your gods. That's very, 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 very horrible. That is unfair and unjust. So that's why I put that picture behind us. We need to join hands as Africans. We need to reconnect with who we are. Like I said, 4 days of the week, we had 4-day week. And I'm going to be sharing how that goes about. And we are supposed to honor our ancestors on those days. Every single day had which ancestor, which deity we were going to honor. Right? Whereas now, 7 days a week now, we're now honoring the ancestors of the colonials as Africans. That is not good for our psyche and for the coming generation. Please do share this broadcast. You're, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Now, let's go to the main issue of the day. I'm going to talk about this in great deal, and I hope you will follow and please do share. Don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Subscribe, hit notification button, give us thumbs up, help us grow the platform, and please help us share the messages. Leave your comments. We appreciate you joining us. Now, we're going to move away slightly from the picture behind me, but it tells us who we are. The picture is of African art that the Vatican admires. So you can say that what is in the Vatican that is African is nothing Christian about it. It is purely African, and they enjoy that. They adore it. So we must connect ourselves to that. That's who we are. That is who we are. Those artifacts that they are enjoying is part of you and I as Africans. And we need to pass this knowledge on to our coming generation. That is why we must be proud of being Africans. We must be proud. I am very proud to know that my Yoruba ancestors had 4 days a week. And those days we are going to resurrect it. It's going to be brought back. I will be celebrating it because we need to know who we are. This 7 days a week relates to Europeans in Europe. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That's part of their culture. But what is not right is for them to brainwash Africans to turn us away from the very thing that they go into museums and they look at and they marvel at and turn us away from that and tell us that it's okay for us to now start following their gods and they abandon ours. That is not right. That is brainwashing. That is cruelty. We need to, we have to say no more to this. It's time Africans woke up. We must wake up. So I am saying this now in clear, in a clear and unequivocal manner. We must, as Africans, collectively demand that the artifacts you see behind me, that is in the museum, and in fact in all other places, other Western countries around the world, they are literally stealing our own identity. They've stolen our identity. They've stolen everything about us, and they're trying to change us and mold us into what they want. We are, for as long as they have those artifacts in their museums, they have stolen our identity and they want to impose a new identity on us. And those who do that, when they come to preach to you that that religion is of no value, I am saying it, their religion is of no value because they have stolen. And even in their own so-called religion that they peddle, the religion says, "Thou shalt not steal." What they've done between the 17th and 18th century was to steal, pillage, rape, enslave, take things away from Africa, and try to make us forget who we are. They've tried to make us forget who we are. So, and many people, many Africans, have not questioned things from that point of view. I'm not saying that Christianity should exist and should not exist. It can and it must exist in the area it relates to. What they've tried to do to us was to brainwash us to forget about our ancestors. And they can then go and talk about it in the museums. They will have the knowledge of who we are, but we don't have that knowledge. That is damaging and totally unacceptable. So, my African brothers and sisters, it is time for the Fabumi Festival. Thank you so much. We must resist with every fiber in our bones. And I'm waking you up. Those of you who are practicing Christianity and Islam, you need to be proud of who you are. They are talking about the artworks of our ancestors, that were done using spiritually and culturally as astonishing. They admire that. So why then, if they admire why are you then stopping us from continuing to develop? For the last 2 centuries now, because of what they've done, imposing themselves on us, they have held our own development back within our own African culture. They have done, and we need to really understand that. So let me play that video one more time. And those of you who are on, let me see, you may not hear it. Let me see. I wonder if you can hear. Can you hear it? I will try. I don't think you can. I'm going to try and see if that works. No, it's on the other side. Anyway, I'm going to play it to those of you who are on YouTube, and I'll come back again anyway. Let's play it again, and I'll talk to you.
The Vatican Museum.
So, in the Vatican Museum, they are holding...
What you will see in this
African
video today
art.
is very astonishing.
You see,
This section of the museum contains the Catholic Church collections from Africa over centuries. The artworks in this place tells a beautiful story of the cultures and religions of the African tribe untainted.
the cultures and spirituality, not religion, the cultures and the spirituality of Africans untainted. They don't like that. Good afternoon, Echo, my brother. AKQR, my brother. Welcome on board. We're talking about the fact that as we speak in the Vatican, they have over 10,000 of our African artifacts that they find astonishing. That is what our ancestors did. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother. This is what our own African ancestors did. And yet, they refuse to hand it back. Yes, my brother, 10,000. You see what you see behind me? This is in Rome right now. It's in the Vatican right now. These are artifacts of that African artifacts that were stolen. Exactly, they demonized us. Thank you very much. I am so glad you said that. They demonized us, and that's why I'm saying they are not worth any of those churches or religions. They have no authority whatsoever to profess any morality or religion to us. They have done us untold damage. So they demonized us. Let me put that there. And yet they demonized us. I'm going to pin Ekwa's message there because it's very important. Those of you on YouTube, you can follow what they're saying in the discussion, and I've got the picture. What you're seeing on the screen is picture of African art that is right now in the Vatican, something that they don't want to release. Now they see us. They see us. Yeah, Africans, babe, nothing to do with religion. Oh, okay. Yeah. Have nothing to do with religion. Thank you. We are spiritual. We are spiritual. But they're trying to say it's a religion so they can gain control of that narrative. No, we are totally spiritual. And like I said, in the museum, it is not and it can never be right that those who came to steal from us are now telling us to follow their religion. When somebody is stealing, welcome on board. When somebody steals from you, when they steal from you and they refuse to return it, whatever they are selling, whatever they are preaching is falsehood. Whatever they are preaching is falsehood. I need you all to remember that. Whatever they are preaching is falsehood. And that's what I'm saying. It is time that we Africans, we must reconnect back to who we are. Because if we ignore, it comes out of their mouth. They find the artifacts made by our ancestors astonishing. And they are putting a stop to more of those artifacts and, spiritual artifacts and those kind of works coming out from the coming generation. It is incumbent on us as direct descendants of our African ancestors to connect back to our spirituality. For as long as we allow the lies told by those who colonized us and who are refusing to return the artifacts to us, for as long as we are practicing their religion, because believe you me, it's not even a religion, it's a quotidian, it's a routine. What they tell you is a religion is actually a routine. Particularly in our part of Africa, what they've done is to make us serve them. That is it. That's the reality. And we need to really understand that. What I'm saying here is nothing to do with hate. Let me be very, very clear. I am quite happy for Europe to continue to practice the Christianity version that they have, because it's a version of Christianity. I'm quite happy for that. What I'm not okay with, and none of us should be okay with, is the brainwashing of Africans with their religion, making us forget who we are. Those people, they have no right to preach anything to us about morality. They have nothing to say about morality, about good behavior, because their actions is based on looting our stuff, imprisoning us, enslaving us, killing slaves, making money on the backs of Africans. And it is still continuing today. The fact that Africa is divided is based on the actions of the church. What you call government came out of that church. What you call the Western democracy came out of the church. That's the reality of it. People won't like to hear this, but that's the reality. We need to connect to who we are, to be able to build magnificent objects magnificent objects that they marvel at, to continue to do so and do even greater spectacular ones. We must connect with our ancestors who are in our DNA. They are waiting for us to connect back with our ancestral beliefs. It is who we are. We mustn't forget that. And that's what I wanted to say. I will come back and talk some more about that. But before I go too far ahead, let me now go to the next piece. We will come back and touch on this, and I need everybody watching this, play your part, please. You need to begin to wake up. If you are in any religion other than your ancestors, do research. Please start doing your research. Start doing your research. The religions of Christianity is about brainwashing you as an African. I kid you not. Ekwa, you're right. We need to wake up. Let me pin your comment there. Pin this comment. The religion of Christianity, the colonial Christianity that's been forced on us as Africans, has been designed to brainwash us as Africans. I kid you not. And we cannot accept that. I don't know how else to state this. It is not acceptable for people who say that, oh, they believe in their Jesus. So they're saying for them, people say, oh, you're going to go to hell. Well, if anybody's going to go to hell for any crimes, shouldn't those who stole our identity, who stole our culture, who are refusing to give it, who enslaved us, who killed us, who forced us out of our own culture, shouldn't they be the ones to go to their hell? I'm asking, shouldn't they be? But yet we preach to ourselves, if you do not follow Christianity, you will go to hell. They don't care about hell. That should tell you it's a lie. They don't care about the hell that they're telling you that you're going to. They only care about taking your land and your resources. And the more we do their own, they stick to the colonial brainwashing, the more we lose who we are and ultimately our land. We need to think about the coming generation. We have to think about the coming generation. It is really important. The artworks here, they are marveling at it. They are having to put it. The church is obviously jealous of the fact that they couldn't produce this. The Vatican is jealous they couldn't produce it. And they wouldn't let the people who produced it, who is part of our culture, for us to be enjoying, and for the coming generation to watch and then build on, they wouldn't let us enjoy it. Instead, they took it away from us and they gave us their Christianity, and they forced the Christianity on us. That's the reality of what we're saying. And I don't hold any of what I said back. Like I said, and I state it on any platform, anywhere, you can quote this, you can go and share it on any platform secretly. But I'm saying it categorically. I am quite happy that Christianity continues to flourish in Europe. But what is not acceptable is that Christianity stopped my ancestors from flourishing on our land. They took away our identity. They took away our culture. They took away everything. And they want us to continue to be serving them. That's the reality. They're not interested in what we want. They are only interested on keeping us as Africans in servitude. I'm not holding any of this back. I don't care who hears it. I am speaking truth to power. So I don't have anything to be afraid of. I'm not abusing anybody, but we need to state the facts as they are. And until we Africans begin to really speak this truth to ourselves, we're not gonna develop. We need to confront this. We need to. Ekwa says, it took me a long time to realize that it was just brainwashing and indoctrination. Thank you very much. This is what I'm saying. I've had people say, "Oh, it's not quite Christianity." Look, the version of this with this spirituality, because in Africa, It is spirituality. When Yeshua was the guy going around helping people and everything else, that is spirituality. The minute they started changing the verses and everything else, it became their Christianity and their so-called Jesus and all of that. And they've been used as a tool of brainwashing ever since. So I just wanted to really highlight and emphasize this point, that we don't know the greatness that we possess as Africans. And by them demeaning us, calling us names, the same people who are calling, if you are calling people names, and you're calling us also, and you say we don't have anything, but we don't know anything, but you steal our artifacts that belongs to us. You keep it away from us, but yet you have the guts to call us names. That's hypocrisy right there. That's hypocrisy. And ladies and gentlemen, please do share this podcast. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us grow the platform. Those of you on YouTube, I do apologize today. The picture, I didn't start it off in the right manner, but I'm still talking to you. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. And I'm going to go and talk about this later on in my broadcast. Somehow we'll get that done. I guarantee you. So please, I do want you to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. Let me pin the statement made by Ekoya, my brother. He said, "It took me a long time to realize that it was just brainwashing and indoctrination." Thank you. It took many of us a lot of time, and that is why I'm not upset with my African brothers when they hold on for dear life onto the very same thing that has been used to brainwash them. Because many people are in that situation now. They're holding on for dear life. Sorry about that. You can hear me? Yes. They're holding on for dear life to the very thing that has been used to enslave us, to brainwash us, to take away our artifacts. How else can you say it when they find the artifacts that they took from our land, from our kingdoms? They took it away. They stole it, put it in museums, making money on it. And yet they tell us we need to turn away from the very spirituality that created what they stole. It is what created what they stole. Without that spirituality and cultural richness, those artifacts will not be in existence. That's the reality. But when we say it, people say, oh, you're just this, you're just that. We need to speak truth to power. My people, we must speak truth to power. Sarah Louis, I'm not sure if you wanted to. I'll add you. I'm not quite sure. We are talking about African artifacts. So if you want to join, of course, I would add. No, okay, that's fine. We're talking about African artifacts that must be returned. And that is why the picture behind you and the picture on the screen, those of you on YouTube, is about the African artifacts that is in Vatican right now. We know there are artifacts all over the world that's been stolen from us. But what you need to understand is that the words they associate with those artifacts are words like astounding, astonishing, amazing. Yet, the same people that find the work did by our ancestors as astonishing and amazing are now telling us that the cultures and the spirituality that brought that about is something we should stop practicing. And we willingly fall for that. That is a big problem. That is a huge concern. And particularly for the coming generation. Yes, I'm saying it. We were all brainwashed. I was brainwashed. A lot of people don't like to hear that. But we need to speak truth to power. There was always something that I kept saying, why is it? Why? And we are beginning to get close to why now. Because the same people, you cannot steal from me, refuse to return it, and you think you can preach anything from me, to preach anything to me. I'm sorry, you cannot. You're not what to speak. You should be when we stand up anywhere, you should be quiet. When we speak, when we stand and talk, the Vatican and all the churches, they should hide their head in shame. They need to hide their head in shame because they stole the artifacts yet gave us scam books. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm going to pin that. You're saying absolutely what needs to be said. They stole from us. You steal from us. You blame us. You accuse us, and you tell us if we do not do what you tell us, we will end up in hellfire. But excuse me, in your book, thou shalt not steal. But that book doesn't apply to you, obviously, because you are stealing and you are refusing to give back. You are stealing our land. You've claimed our land by renaming our land in European names. That is stealing. But you are telling me that I will go to hell. Which one of us is going to go to hell? The one that's been stealing left, right, and center? Steal even the people? Or the person that is being stolen from? Which one of us do you think is going to go to your hellfire? And I don't believe in your hellfire, by the way. But if you want to believe in that, which one of them will go to hell first? Because everything that Christianity has done on Africa has been about stealing, lying, killing. Do you know that the pastors and when they came, the pastors had cases with guns in it, crosses. I'll show you. It's got crosses and guns and knives. And here we are. Some African pastor will go around saying, oh, I just depend on Jesus Christ. If they believed in their Jesus Christ, would they walk around with cases that had guns and knives secretly? This is why I'm saying that we've been brainwashed. Those of you practicing the religion of Christianity right now, there's a pastor that walked into the lion's den holding just the Bible, believing in that lie. Whereas the people who brought it to us, they walk around secretly with guns. Guns. Whilst they're preaching, you must believe in Jesus Christ. What does that tell you? When a pastor who's supposed to believe in Jesus Christ is walking around with guns and knives. I've got pictures to prove what I'm saying. So don't think I'm saying this. I've got pictures to back what I'm saying. What does that say about that religion? What does that say about that religion? I will show the pictures in time. I think I've shown it in one of the broadcasts. Please do share. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We are here to enlighten. And the more of us, so those of my brothers and sisters who are clinging on to these false religions, this religion that are false, and their routines, what you're holding on to is just simply routine. They stripped it of anything of value and they've left you just carrying out routine. That's all you are. It's not even a religion. It's not even, it's a routine. It's a routine. And you need to wake up. So our role in what we're doing here is to come and wake you up, to enlighten you, to let you know what has been done. What you see behind me is what they stole from us. Look at the splendor. Look at the splendor of what they stole from us. They marvel at it. They said, oh, it's untainted, cultural, and they say religious. I prefer spiritual. Religious African artifacts. But they don't want to return it. And yet those are the people that you are going to worship their Easter, whatever they bring to you to worship as an African. Based on what they've done to us, how they've raped and pillaged and killed, we should not be supporting their religion. We should be supporting ours. We should be supporting ours. We should be nurturing our people. This is what we need to be doing. I'm sorry people will find this difficult, but I'm saying it, we need on the African continent in particular. Africa belongs to Africa. The borders that you see on Africa has been put on Africa by colonials. And that is stealing. That is stealing. In their language, when they say thou shalt not steal, they are stealing every day. When they say thou shalt not steal to us, telling us not to steal, they are stealing all over Africa every day. There are planes flying out of Africa with our resources. It happens in Nigeria, it happens in Congo, it's happening all over the place. So all that stuff, thou shalt not steal, you're wearing a holy, the gown that they see as holy, a bishop and all of this, all smoke screen. It's all smoke screen. It's all smoke screen. Africans, we need to wake up. Like I said, I'm saying again, the Christian, the Europeans I insist. Thank you very much, Citizen Oluwatosin, for the flowers. I appreciate that. And those who have been giving me a gift, I'm grateful. Those who are practicing Christianity in Europe, I doubt. I'm quite happy for you to do so, and it is part of your culture. It is part of who you are. So please, I wouldn't want to stop that. Let me be very clear. But on the African continent, Christianity is brainwashing us, and we cannot sit by and let that happen. So those of you Africans who are practicing that religion, believing that routine, believing it's a religion, we are here waiting for you. We will welcome you back into the fold when you wake up, because you've been put to sleep. I'm sorry, you've been put to sleep. So we're not going to be angry about your insistence on clinging on to what has been used to brainwash you for so many years, 50, 60 years in some cases, maybe 80 years in some cases, believing in that lie. But here we are, the Vatican, no less, is holding on to what belongs to you and I as Africans. Whilst they are telling us that our cultural and spiritual beliefs are satanic, which, by the way, they have no right to label. They have no right whatsoever to label. But they are happy to hold on to our artifacts. And then they force us to be practicing their religion. Do you think there's free will in you practicing Christianity right now? Do you think so? Do you? We are in an open prison where they've controlled. What is the name of the country that we are in right now in Nigeria? It's called Nigeria, isn't it? Is that an African name? Is that an African name? It's not. Who created that name? It's the colonials, under the guise of their Christianity. It's an open camp. It's an open prison. And they're looting. They're still stealing. I keep saying it. Thou shalt not steal. They're stealing every day. They're stealing every day. And that's what we need to really understand. When they are now displaying, yes, Nigeria, exactly. I mean, if you hear the many other names, that's why I am so proud of what, oh gosh, may his soul rest in peace. The Burkina Faso, the guy who changed the name from the, change it to Burkina Faso. I've forgotten the name now. Oh, it'll come to me. 1 second. Yeah. Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara. Thank you. That's it. Yes. Thomas Sankara, the first thing he did was to change that name. And that was why they knew he was dangerous. Because every time you answer to that foreign name, it's not your land. Everything within that land is not yours. It's not yours. That's stealing. It's stealing. The resources are still being stolen by those who named those places. They carved up Africa, and the carve up is still being benefited from today. Except, thankfully now, you see now that Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger are now beginning to pull away from that. We need to wake up. We must. That can be, that will have to be something for you can determine. What name can be given to Nigeria? That's a big question. I'm not gonna. It's not really. It has to be a name that we all agree on. I think that will bear that could be a very good opportunity for a referendum on the change of a new name. We do a referendum. Do we agree on it? If the overwhelming agree, then without any interference, because mark my words, those who named it, they will fight tooth and nail to keep it Nigeria. Because they know once they lose that name, they lose the grip on the resources in the land. It's all about the resources. It's all about the resources. It is so we need to be very, very clear about this. It's about the resources. Again, I will keep saying it. Thou shalt not steal. Those are their words. When France are losing it. Thank you. Exactly. Yes, let me pin that again, my brother Equia. So, France are obviously losing it. Now, the French and in fact the US, the Niger has told US to leave their country, and US are refusing. They are trying to say, oh no, we will stay there. We don't want you there. We don't want you there. You've done nothing but destroy Africa. You've looted African resources repeatedly. You've created wars that you now put wars behind the people and give them arms to fight each other whilst you are looting the resources. Why don't you listen? We don't want you there. Pack your bags and go. Mali is saying it. Burkina Faso is saying it. Niger is saying it. Now Senegal are saying it. Pack your bags and go. Gaddafi was killed for saying Africa belongs to Africans. And these are the same people who are telling you to believe in their religion. Let me say that again in case you didn't understand. Gaddafi was killed for standing up for Africans. And these are the same people who are putting the religion that they are forcing you in every corner of Africa to celebrate year in, year out. That's the reality. Yes, we don't need them on our land. We don't need these people on our... They are forcing themselves. And by forcing themselves on us, they are again committing crimes that their own Bible and Quran talks about is wrong. But they come and preach to us. They can't preach to us about anything. They cannot preach zero. They cannot preach zero on anything, anywhere, about whatever to us. Because we only have to look at their actions on our soil. Looting, pillaging, killing, enslaving, renaming, taking our resources. Take. Oh, continue to pray. I'm telling you, as an African, you need to wake up. We'll wait for you. I don't blame you for holding on and clinging on to that routine. Because that's what has been placed in our mind, in the front, in the back, in the middle, in the left, in the right, in every area, every corner. Every corner. To make sure we do not wake up. It's like an opium. They've quietly put in our... Look, we have 60% of the world's fertile land. They are controlling our ability to use that land to feed ourselves. They would rather give us food and make us believe that we are poor. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Africans, I need you to wake up. When somebody is admiring what our ancestors did, but they cannot show us the respect, please tell me, why should we continue to worship, to be in the same religion with them? Please tell me why. I'd like to know why. They have no regard for us. They look at us with disdain. They separate the work, the great artifacts of our ancestors. They separate us from it. and say, oh, we are slaves, we are this word, we are the N word. But then they admit that they are astonished at the artworks and they show it around and they are making money on it. And yet you are revealing, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. You're not a Christian. You are wallowing in your enslavement. You're not a Christian. You are simply wallowing in your enslavement. But listen, it's all about we have been brainwashed collective, myself included. We are beginning to wake up bit by bit. We need you in this struggle. We need you in this struggle. We are waiting for you. We have all suffered. And as you are practicing that religion, thinking that you are doing good, you are actually harming yourself. So we are trying to wake you up slowly. We cannot blame you because this is what has been done to our entire community. Entire community. Please think long and hard about what I've just said. The day I stopped thinking of heaven and hell, I became so free. Thank you. That is what it does. The idea is to, look, when somebody passes away, let me just dispel that lie once and for all, that there's a hell. The day somebody passes away, what do we put up? Candle. A candle light. What is the sign of a soul? It's a light. We are all light. So when somebody dies, and you say they go to hellfire, how can a light burn in a light? How can it be hell? I'm trying to understand. You tell me that. It's just a simple, I'm not, we're just breaking it down. We're just talking. I'm not, I don't know it all. So please, that idea of the name hell and heaven is just designed to keep you confused and in an illusion, a permanent illusion. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. So, what we need to do is to share messages like this. I hope you're sharing it in all platforms. I hope you're sharing this message. It's really, really important. And we must collectively demand that those artifacts be returned. And in fact, we should be advocating, we should be telling every African about this so that they wake up and turn back from these religions. Every European, please carry on with it. It is part of who you are. And I mean that genuinely. It is part of who you are. That is your culture. You practice it. The only thing I'm saying is let us Africans practice our own. You don't have a right to brainwash me from my culture. You don't have that right. Stop. Full stop. 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 You don't have the right to brainwash me with your culture. I have mine in Yoruba language. In my Yoruba calendar, there's 4 days. We worship our ancestors. By now, if that had been allowed to go forward, we would have moved forward to another higher level. You've kept us back, but we will get back there. I'm sure of it. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I urge you, think deeply about what I'm saying here. Every African listening to this, whatever part of Africa you may be, if you are in that religion, particularly if it's the one of the colonials, I'm not talking about the Ethiopian Christianity, where the base is on Yeshua. Please, again, that is your culture there. Please practice it. So let's be very, very clear, because I don't want people to misunderstand me. Please, I urge you, it is of immense importance that you carry on with that practice, that spirituality. In fact, like I said, what you are doing is spirituality. It is not religion. Please practice it. And those of you who are in Europe, and that is whatever you're doing and practicing there, do it. Let us do ours. you yourself, from your own mouth, you are astounded about the artifacts that our African ancestors left for me and my coming generation. Let us be, so we can do more artifacts that's going to be more astounding. Our ancestors had a goal when they did what they did. That was to leave a better future, to see a better country than when they left it. By you forcing us to practice your religion, you are destroying the very future that our ancestors envisaged for us as Africans. Do you get it? Do you get it? Vatican, do you get it? Rome, do you get it? US, do you get it? Canada, do you get it? UK, do you get it? I'm not here to destroy any Christianity. In Europe, please, I support it wholeheartedly. What I cannot support is the obliteration of my own history. I can't do that. And I won't allow or encourage my fellow Africans to willingly do so. I can't. It is wrong. I wouldn't dream of coming to Europe and brainwash Europe to forget their history. So for Europe, or for some people, not all, some people in Europe, to do that to Africa is cruel. It's cruel beyond words. It is cruel beyond words. I can't even begin to verbalize how cruel this is. I can't. So, please, let us have a real rethink as Africans. Share this broadcast. Don't forget, follow Citizen AY on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. The other bit I was going to talk about, I will do it in the next show, where I was going to talk about the checklist for those for that must take place across all the community. I was either tomorrow or later on today, I'll do it. But this topic is so important that please share it, as the pictures speaks volumes. These are the artifacts that the Vatican sees as a splendor from African culture and spirituality that they destroyed. They destroyed it. They erased the memory of we, the coming generation. But thankfully, it's in our DNA. We are remembering who we are, and I'm calling on every African. The fact that if you turn away from Christianity and Islam now as an African, it doesn't make you a bad person. It means you are waking up and connecting to your ancestors. It doesn't mean you wish to see the end of Christianity, because those who are in Europe will continue to practice the Christianity. What is good is for you to know who you are by reconnecting to your ancestors. Do you get it? So this is not about fighting. And to complete that process, those who stole, thou shalt not steal, you must return it. So if you're going to preach about anything about do good and all that, and you are holding on to our artifacts, you are a thief. You are nothing but a thief. And you are not following your own tenets in your own so-called book. So don't come to preach to me about thieving, stealing, or corruption. You are the very definition of corruption. If you're refusing to return what you stole, and you're using all kind of language to allow you to keep it. You keeping my stuff, keeping my land by surreptitiously by imposing your name on it, it's stealing. It is stealing. You are not allowing the people of those areas who have direct ancestors to that land to rule, to govern themselves, to be themselves, to reach their true potential as envisaged by their ancestors. You are imposing your own vision on those people. That is wrong. That goes against natural law. This goes against natural law. Think about this. Christianity in Europe, go ahead. Please, it's your culture. Yoruba culture is Isese. You have no right to stop me. You have no right to disregard my culture on my land. Just like I have no right to disregard your culture on your land, I will treat it with respect on your land. And I expect the same when you are on my land. Do you get it? When you say you are preaching, no, you are brainwashing. You're not preaching. When you come to Africa and you say you are preaching the gospel, you are brainwashing. You are brainwashing us to turn away from what served us, our ancestors. How would you like it if people came to Europe and started brainwashing you to turn away from what you know? Put yourself in that situation. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But I'm very, very clear about that. These artifacts, the Vatican is holding on to 10,000 African artifacts that they find astounding. And those astounding artifacts come from our ancestors who created the spirituality and the culture that they now steal from. And they tell us to turn away from the same culture. And you're not prepared to use critical thinking to say, no, you cannot do that. We need to wake up. Africans, I need you to think about this. Those of you on YouTube, you may not have seen me, but hang on. Okay. Yeah. Those of you on YouTube, you may not have seen me, but you've heard the message. I will be back later on and we'll talk more about the checklist. Because we need our people to participate in the governance at the local level. And there are a certain number of things on the checklist that I would like you to factor in. Every community must take that action up. Don't leave it to praying to God anywhere. That's all a lie. It's a deceit. We need to break that spell once and for all. So I will come back later on and we will discuss that at length. But I want to leave you with this thought before we go. If we Africans allow our coming generation to be how can I put it? To be prevented from reconnecting with their own ancestors by knowing their real history. For example, in Yoruba land, we have our own calendar. 4-day calendar, which I will come and talk about, and our own ways of doing things. We will be doing ourselves a great disservice. We need to be who we are. Right now, as Africans, we don't know who we are because we have been prevented from connecting to who we are from the beginning. We've been lied to. And it is okay to admit to ourselves that we have been lied to. Now we are learning, we are going to connect back with our ancestors to be able to reach to the level where our ancestors intended. Brainwashing of we Africans is wrong. We need to call it out. Stealing is stealing, whatever language you want to call it. Oli is oli. A thief is a thief. Those who stole our artifacts and are now profiting from it, showing it in the Vatican, those are thieves. That's their name. They're not pastors, they're not priests, they're thieves. Let's call them what they are. They are not worth to wipe the boot of my feet. They're not worth it. Because they stole our future. They stole our identity. They stole and stole and stole. That's the reality. So those of you following those religions, please have a real think about that. Those, like I said, the religion can be practiced in Europe. It's part of who they are, and I would fight anybody trying to stop an European to follow Christianity. I would fight them. Equally, I'm fighting for Africans to reconnect back to our spirituality, because it's part of who we are. It is what they admire. It's what they adore. They are admiring. It's what they find astonishing. Without our ancestors being there, those artifacts that they are now looking at and gawking at would not materialize. Let us stand up for ourselves together. Africa is for Africans. We must reconnect, each and every one of us. I thank you all. For any European watching this, I'm stating it very, very, very clearly. Please understand me. I support your Christianity on your soil in Europe. You must carry on with that. You must no longer interfere in Africans reconnecting with their ancestors, because the things that was produced by the ancestors is what you are admiring in your museum that you stole from me. You understand that? Yes, it's my heritage. Thank you. No one will bring Christianity to my life, or Islam or La Mother. Thank you very much. Please share this message. We must carry on with this message. And I'm being very clear. Anybody who is going to share this message, don't twist it, please. I support Christianity in Europe. It's part of their culture. I support the Ethiopian spirituality. It's part of their culture. We also are supporting our African spirituality. Isheshe in Yoruba land. We must support it. This guy stole. They stole. Let us call it what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth. I'll be back later on. I might talk about this again. I need to go and do a few things. But thank you so much for watching. And those of you on YouTube, I do apologize that my picture didn't come up, but you can see my face. Share this broadcast. Please share, and share. We shouldn't be afraid to speak truth to power. Our ancestors are waking up. They are in us. They are in our DNA. They are in our blood. When we do what we're doing now, it's not of my own will. It's that of my ancestors. And may their will be achieved. Ashe, Ashe. May the will of my ancestors come to pass. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I say that, so shall it be. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all very much. Again, as Africans, it's time for us to be proud of who we are. Those who know what our ancestors did, who saw it, they see the carvings and they're marveling and they admire it. It means that if our ancestors did that, we can do even greater, connecting with our ancestors. Let us do so. Please have a think. I hold no grudges against anybody practicing, any African practicing Islam or Christianity. We are just waiting for you to wake up. That's all. Thank you very much. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Here we'll bring the broadcast to an end. I'll be back maybe in a few minutes or so. Anyway, as when I can. But please do share this broadcast. What are your thoughts? Please, I'd like to hear your comments. Even if you're against me, put it on here. Let's discuss. If you support, great. If you are willing to promote it, let's hear. Let's have a dialogue among ourselves as Africans. We can no longer be silent on this issue. What are your thoughts? Thank you so very much. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you and bye for now. Bye for now. Okay, so those of you on YouTube, thank you so very much for joining. Please do share the broadcast. Listen to the entire broadcast again, and you will get a sense of what we're doing. I'm sorry we weren't able to talk about the checklist, but I will come back with that list later on. I think you'll see anyway, but I will talk about it. It needs to be talked about. You're watching Citizen AY.